Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? This is Kyle and Mike from the Fantasy Phenom. We're back again. Break down Friday's 8 game slate, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? 8 games?
8 games.
Eight
Yes, sir.
games. And I'm already looking at the late games, man. I'm already Brooklyn, Dallas, Boston, Denver, Washington, Sacramento. So tonight, I have a late night line that was at 2:32 last I checked, and my main line was at 2:31. Obviously, with the late, I still have a ton of players left. So I think I'm gonna roll with that approach tomorrow. Just looking at it from the beginning. Brooklyn, Dallas, Boston, Denver, Washington, Sac. Those are the games I'm looking at, and I think I'm gonna put a late slate lineup in the main tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I've done it before. It's definitely a solid strategy. Like you said, cashing tonight. I do tend to agree with you. I like these 3 games. So yeah, I'm just kind of excited that we're back to 8 games, man. Like, I don't deal with this 12 or 11 or 3 or 5 that we've been dealing with for the past week. It seems like so. I'm glad we're back to 8 games. I'm glad I can kind of get back to my normal buy-in and playing cash and the normal prep. So
Yeah, man, I'm killing it on cash tonight, and I'm probably gonna cash in GPP with just because I have Nurkic and Randall, Russell, and Warren.
yeah, I think if everything goes right with this, I have a lot of people on the Phoenix side, so everything goes right with TJ Warren and Alex Len. Like, they're doing okay now, but
Yeah.
I should cash. I think I have one with and without Westbrook that should cash. They're cashing right now, so as long as things keep up the way they are.
All right. Someone asked, did I fade LeBron? Yeah, I did. I was higher on Kawhi tonight, and unfortunately, that didn't work out as well. To be fair, though, Kawhi didn't play barely any of the second half, so that sucked. I was also high on Conley tonight. Mike and I both were, and that didn't work.
Yeah, but I have Conley in every line, still cashing. Definitely one of those slates. There were so many people that really didn't play or just underperformed that you could hit on the majority of your lineup and still cash on a slate like this. So I mean, that's what we were kind of alluding to yesterday. Um, so
Yeah, but yeah, you can cash with
all
that
right,
Westy. All
yeah,
right.
like I said, with and without, yeah, definitely could. I had it did help that I have LeBron and Nurkic in the lineup. I don't have Westbrook in, so
All right. Well, let's start with Brooklyn and Dallas. Brook Lopez is already out. Not that we're on centers, but just for what it's worth. Yogi revenge game, Mike.
perhaps I don't know. JJ Barea is back in the mix. Something to not look forward to, but to look at.
Look at yeah.
Yeah, so he's back in the mix. Obviously, Brooklyn point guards. You got to look at Yogi. You got to look at anybody on this Dallas team. Um, there's a lot of plays at that price range, especially on DraftKings at least. So it's going to be a tough call. I'm not sure that I like Yogi the best out of those. There's going to be I think there's like 5 guys there in that price range.
I agree with you. I'm not super high on Yogi, especially with JJ coming back, as you mentioned. You had Wes Matthews, Seth Curry. You know what I mean? The backcourt all of a
Mhm.
sudden becomes a little muddier. But let's see. Devin Harris, I'm not really looking there either. I'm not looking at any. Besides, Yogi's the only Dallas point guard I would look at, but I'm not going to look. I'm not super high on Yogi. Do you look at Jeremy Lin against Yogi?
Yeah, he's definitely another guy in that price range that I'm looking at. Obviously, his minutes are increasing, and without Brook Lopez, pretty much everybody on this entire Nets team is going to see a you know
A bump?
like a little bit of a bump in minutes and usage. It's probably marginal at best, but
Can I put you on
without
someone
Yo,
real quick? Can I put you on someone?
with,
Sean Kilpatrick.
yep, I think Kilpatrick's in that realm. But it's tough to look at the Nets today against Dallas because everybody again is at risk of playing 18 to 28 minutes.
Sean
It's
Kilpatrick against
just
Seth
it's
Curry
just
defense, though.
the nature
Mike, Seth Curry
just the
defense.
nature of the game.
Seth Curry defense. Sean Kilpatrick. Just telling you. Just gonna
No,
throw it.
no, I don't hate Sean Kilpatrick. I'd rather play Lynn than Sean Kilpatrick. I think Kilpatrick's overpriced. I think Lynn is still underpriced. His minutes are increasing. He had 25 last game. He's proven can hit value. He did it against Memphis. And again, no Brook. It's not the best matchup, but I like that play. 5K.
Yeah. Where we at? Steph Curry against Minnesota. I think that's a fade for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you look at Rubio though at home against Seth? I think you can go there.
I think I'm gonna fade Rubio. He's been playing really, really well. So
yeah, but 7,100 and 69.
Yeah, it's kind of where he's been at the whole season. I don't think that's necessarily under or overpriced. I think it's fair. Again, he's been hitting value consistently.
So why would you fade him?
That's why it's a fade. It's an 8-game slate. You got to pick and choose where you're gonna go, and I think
I like him for cash.
Somebody yeah, I guess you could go there for cash.
Rondo, Beverly. I like Beverly a lot tomorrow.
Yep, another guy. I'm telling you, there's 6 guys. I think it's Yogi, Pat Bev, or it's 4 guys. Yogi, Pat Bev, Lynn, and Brogdon. The 4 guys in that price range that I'm looking at. You can throw Corey Joseph in there as well. It's going to be a tough decision, I think. But this is kind of where I'm looking at point guard today.
Yeah, Beverly, man.
Right around 5K. Coming off a bad game against Utah, so maybe some people will be off of him. But he's been putting together some nice runs of late.
Again, we mentioned he was hitting value before that. What about Teague versus Milwaukee? I think I fade that.
This guy's been on a slide as of late. His minutes have been, somewhat inconsistent as well. So could be a sneaky play, but I don't think I'm going there.
Do you look at Malcolm Brogdon for 4,800 or 5K on DraftKings?
Yeah, he's in that mix for sure. The problem with him is his minutes as well. He only got 22 minutes last game, and that's the problem. You don't really know what his role in this offense is on a day-to-day basis. If he could go out and play 40 tomorrow, it's just impossible to predict. But I like it if he does, and that's why it's more of a GPP play. I will also add with Teague is that the Bucks are, if not the top DVP against point guards, they're in the top 3, meaning like they're the worst teams to target.
Wow, look at Theo stealing my thunder. He says I'm going to put a late game slate lineup in the main slate tomorrow.
That's not stealing your thunder. That's just using your awesome advice, man.
He's stealing my thunder.
You should be happy that our viewers are using our advice. That's the whole point, isn't it?
I don't view Theo as a viewer, but yeah, everyone else I agree with. Kemba against Orlando, and then the reverse, man. I think you could stack both point guards.
7K for Elf, I think, is a fade for me. I know what he's been doing. 2 straight triple doubles. I'm just going to go ahead and say he's not going to have 3. I like what Kemba's been doing, obviously. 6 straight 40-plus, 46.5 average over the last 6, and his percentage is 46 and 48 from field and 3, respectively. So he's on a little bit of a hot streak in the last 6. I don't really see that this is a bad matchup for him. And I would like Elf. I would, but I think at 7K, it's a little much.
It's hard. And Schroeder against Toronto. Corey Joseph against Schroeder. Yes? No?
Yeah, I'm on Corey Joseph. 30 minutes and 6 out of the last 7.
Did we skip
25 DraftKings points in 3 straight. And 2 of those were against, again, I said Milwaukee was a bottom 5. So was Washington. So in tough matchups, I don't think Schroeder's a tough matchup. If he gets 30 points, I like him at that price.
Damn it. We skipped over Boston and Denver. Isaiah Thomas, play him tomorrow.
Nah.
Don't look back. 9,200. Just do it.
Yeah, there's a couple cautions with me of Thomas. I think he's the top priced point guard, that I'm looking at. But he is on the last game of a 5-game road trip. You take fantasy numbers out of it, you got to consider that. And it's in Denver. So other than that, though, I mean, it's really not much of a negative. He only has hit 50 in once of his last 10. And if you are looking for him in like a GPP, I think you're at that price, you're looking for 50. So he could be more of a cash play, I think, today.
And then John Wall. John Wall against Sacramento.
I think I'd rather play Giannis or Thomas. I think Wall's kind of fallen out for me. If you look at the last 10 versus point guards for the Kings, which is something I'm looking at without Boogie, they're the top team, surprisingly. Obviously, Wall's matchup proof, but you got to consider that,
Yep. I'm still going to roll Wall. Wall and Thomas. I think that's where I'm going to go tomorrow. At least that's where I'm going to start my lineups and see where I go from there.
Yeah, I guess just worry that DVP might cap his upside, but again, he is
I've been playing
proof. We saw what LeBron did to Detroit today.
I've been playing more cash than GPP anyway, so that works out for me from my standpoint. But
Yeah.
all right, shooting guards. I'm just gonna mention this name one more time in case you guys haven't caught it yet. Sean Kilpatrick, 4,200.
Yeah,
4,200 on FanDuel. Ha.
4,200 on FanDuel is obviously a great value. 51 is somewhat. I feel like he's somewhat overpriced just because he could go out and play 18 minutes tomorrow.
Yeah, that's hard to do on DraftKings.
Something that could definitely happen. He's got 3 straight 30-point games, and I looked into this whole thing with Lane because I was curious myself. Watching the games, it's pretty obvious that they complement each other, but I look at it and he averages 23.4 DraftKings points per game, and then it's 24.1 with Lynn. So,
bro, I'm telling
perhaps there's some.
I told you that
the stats don't really say that it's a big increase.
Bro, I'm telling you, just from watching the games,
DraftKings point.
Sean Kilpatrick is so much better as an off-ball player, and with Jeremy Lin in the lineup, he can play his natural position, and that's why you see.
I know, but it's just weird that the stats don't represent that. I don't know. If he gets his minutes, he equals value. Like if he plays 28 minutes tomorrow, he's gonna hit value on both sides.
Yep, and he can crush value on FanDuel. So. Telling you, man, watch for Sean Kilpatrick, especially with Jeremy Lin back and his minutes increasing. They work really well together. Anyways,
I caution it in like a cash scenario, just because he can go out and play 18 minutes. He did it as recent as like 5 games ago. So
no, you're right. You're 100% right. Do you look at Gary Harris or Will Barton? Because I'm already going to go to Avery Bradley.
Yeah, I don't like either. Obviously, Gary Harris coming up with a career high in scoring. His minutes are safe, but I'm not necessarily looking at either.
What about Avery Bradley?
Yeah, I think Bradley's okay to jump on. I don't know that it's going to be like a.
I'm telling you, man, this could be his game. He kills the Nuggets.
Yeah, it definitely could be. Obviously, shooting guards against the Nuggets, everybody does.
Yeah.
So.
I'm telling you, and Gary Harris is even more expensive, which makes me like, if I had to choose between them, I'm gonna go Avery Bradley. I'm telling you,
I think if I had to choose between them, I would too.
We keep talking about that game, when he's gonna break out.
Could be.
Look for it tomorrow. Marcus Smart, I think you can look at as well, but at that same price, I'm playing Bradley's upside tomorrow.
I'm gonna wait to play Smart and Brown for a while. See what Bradley's doing.
Clay against Minnesota, I'm going to fade him on the road, even though the matchup is good.
I agree. Yep. Not looking at Clay tomorrow.
Not going to look at McCaw either. James Harden is in a juicy matchup tomorrow against Chicago.
Yeah, I kind of want to pay up for James Harden tomorrow. I don't really like much of the high-priced guys. And I don't really like much at point guard in general. And obviously he's point guard, shooting guard eligible. I think this is a good matchup. He's averaging almost 56 over his last 5, and that's including Utah, San Antonio, Memphis, and the Clippers. So, yeah, 55 over the last 5 isn't James Harden what you want from James Harden, but you look at 4 of those teams are all tough matchups. So Chicago is not. I think you can jump on him here.
By the way, Nurkic has 61 points.
I know. He had like 5 blocks in the first. They were talking about like a quadruple double at some point today.
He's got 6 blocks right now.
Yeah, that's a good chance. Let me go check the lines.
So Giannis at 10-1 on DraftKings, I think is nice tomorrow. 11-1 on FanDuel. Obviously a little harder. So then I think you deciding between him and James Harden at that price with $700 difference. But damn, on DraftKings,
Yeah, I
that's
like Harden over Giannis on FanDuel, but on DraftKings it's tougher. Yeah, I agree. Value in 3 of his last 4, 53.4 in 2 games versus Indiana this season. I think he's good for 50 tomorrow, if I had to guess.
yeah. No, Harden, I think is a really good play on the main tomorrow. Especially like I said, I would rather play him over Giannis as well. Do you look at Lou or Eric Gordon? Same price.
I don't think so.
Fair, fair,
No.
fair. Batum against Orlando tomorrow. 7,200 is a little steep for me. I don't think if you're gonna roster James Harden or Giannis, I don't know if you pay up to Batum.
Right. Well, it helps on DraftKings. For those who play DraftKings, obviously Giannis and Harden, or Giannis isn't shooting guard eligible at all, so I didn't really factor him in that much at this position. I think Batum is a guy that I'm really looking at tomorrow, actually. I know he's been struggling since the All-Star break, but he's got 3 straight 35-plus. Last game was against Miami, who's a bottom or top 5 team against shooting guards. And he's averaging over 40 versus Orlando this season on 60% shooting. So perhaps he's on the rise a bit. It's back at home. I think this is a pretty good matchup, under 7K. I think I might go there and cash tomorrow at shooting guard.
Okay. Can you look at the reverse and look at Evan Fournier? Obviously, Charlotte is equally as bad.
Right, yeah. I think Fournier, with that, especially if Vooch is out again,
Yeah.
with the way Peyton's been playing, I think Fournier obviously benefits from that. The numbers show it. It's plus matchup in DVP, like you said. He's led the team in usage in each of the last 2 games, surprisingly. So yeah, 5,700. I think that's a solid GPP play tomorrow.
I agree with you. I think you obviously expect goddamn what's it, Elf to come down tomorrow. So Evan Fournier obviously you think would pick up a little more of the points and usage.
Well, even if he doesn't come down, I mean, he's got to come down to earth. He's not gonna. I don't expect him to have a triple double tomorrow, but say he has a good game, but at 7K a good game for him is like right around value. Maybe a little bit higher, a little bit lower.
Fair, fair, fair. Where are you look? Are you looking at DeMar DeRozan tomorrow? 8,500 against Atlanta.
Before we get there, I want to mention I think Jeremy Lamb's a good punt tomorrow. He's been seeing minutes 20 plus in each of his last 3. 3,300 in a good matchup. I think that's a solid punt. DeRozan, man, is intriguing. Obviously, he's out of cash consideration after the last 2 duds. But I like his price and his matchup on DraftKings. So
I definitely think you can.
I don't know
look
that
at
I'd roster DeRozan, depending on how many lineups I build. I don't know if I'd roster him, but
he's in that spot where if you're gonna pay up, he doesn't fit. But if you want to go mid price everywhere, then you can.
Yeah, I know, but he's in a good spot and he's relatively safely priced on DraftKings at 85. It's just those 2 duds that really take him out of cash. Definitely in play.
Just laughing at some of the comments for those of you that are listening on a podcast and not watching the video. Man, Bradley Beal tomorrow, man. I was telling Theo, so starting with IT4, Avery Bradley, John Wall, Bradley Beal.
Yeah, no, I like Bradley Beal too. He's definitely made the player pool. I think he is still somewhat overpriced at that point. I mean, this is about as high as we've seen him all season, 75 and 76. But it's because he's shooting the lights out. His hot shooting has continued percentage-wise. The Kings are a bottom 5 team to opponents' 3 points made and 3-point percentage on the season. They allow a little over 11 threes a game.
Terrible, and that's all Bradley Beal does.
So if he's coming into the game shooting hot over like 10 games now, he's putting together some nice percentages. I like it to continue. I mean, I could understand the fade though at 7,600 because all he needs to do is shoot under 40% one game, and he doesn't come close to hitting value.
What about? I don't think I look at Tyreek for that $5,900 price tag, but Buddy Hield is a punt, 4K.
Nah, I'm not playing Buddy Hield.
Okay. Just he got a little bit of run last game. He got hot, so just something to look at. Just something to look at. I'm gonna play Sean Kilpatrick over Buddy Hield, but I still love that everyone hates Sean Kilpatrick because no one's on him. He was like 4% on last time.
I love Sean Kilpatrick. I think he's my favorite player on the Nets. Dude's a New Yorker, born and bred. Dude's got a serious New York accent. If you ever heard him talk.
Dude, you're not even from New York. You're from Charlotte.
I'm not. I'm from Jersey, man. I've
Are
lived
you?
here my whole life.
I thought you were
Yeah.
from Charlotte.
No, I just went to college in Wilmington and
Well,
lived
shows
there
how much
for
I know.
8 years. Yeah, no, I'm from Jersey, man. He's a New Yorker, born and bred. So they picked like I said, they half the Nets team is just picked off the street.
Isaiah Whitehead is New York, right? Brooklyn.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
He's from Coney Island. Yep. Bronx for Sean Kilpatrick. But yeah, no, I did like it, especially on FanDuel.
Harrison Barnes is someone I'm looking at tomorrow. I'm trying to decide between Harrison Barnes and Dirk tomorrow.
I think I go Barnes over Dirk. I could see them limiting him. They did it against the Lakers. Obviously, he had a career, or not a career game, but one of the better games of his season. But he still only played 26 minutes, so I can see that happening. And I don't like playing guys if I think they're going to play 26 minutes. And realistically, it could happen, you know. But with Barnes, man, he gets big minutes. He consistently leads the team in usage over the last 5, the last 10, over the last season. He just has been not underperforming from a fantasy point of view as of late. But it is Brooklyn, so.
Necktat West, Mike. If Jokic is out, look at Necktat West.
Yeah, I think it's more of Gallo's out. I like Chandler obviously more if Gallo and Jokic are out, but I think if Gallo's out, you can still look at Chandler.
Yeah, but if Jokic is out, Plumlee will slide to the 5, right? If Reed's already out.
Yeah, no, if they're both out, man, I like Chandler. But I'm saying if Jokic plays and Gallo's out, I still like Chandler. What about you?
I like Chandler regardless tomorrow. As long as Jokic doesn't play, I like Chandler. Actually, no. Well, yeah. No. Yeah, I like it.
Me, as long as Gallo doesn't play.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because if Gallo doesn't play, he'll play for Gallo. Hopefully Gallo.
Minutes are safer.
Yeah, hopefully Gallo's like super sick where Jokic was.
He's got vertigo.
Vertigo?
So I think,
isn't that a song?
Vertigo is a.
That's like a song by Jason Derulo, I think. Man, he's old.
I don't even know who Jason Derulo is.
How have you never heard of Jason Derulo?
Because I listen to quality music.
Anyways.
And I assume he's not if I don't listen to him.
Here we go.
I don't know. Vertigo is a kind of a serious thing, man. You can't really do anything if you have vertigo. It's like having migraines in the sense that like it's very debilitating. So if he's having a string of this, usually it's brought on by something acute and it's not like a chronic thing. I looked into it. He really hadn't shown this happening to him before missing games, so I would lean to him not playing. Obviously, I'd like to check the news, but Jokic is having flu-like symptoms, so.
Checking the news is helpful. Definitely do that.
Jokic is having flu-like symptoms. He didn't practice today at all, so he's obviously still sick. We'll see what happens.
Bro, Andrew Wiggins against Golden State, he killed Golden State last year. Oh, man, I love watching that game. Anytime Golden State gets killed, I enjoy it. And it was nothing better than watching Isaiah Thomas. He didn't even have a great game in the fourth quarter. He only scored 7 points. I just remember he walks up to the 3, Andre Iguodala on him, just cold-blooded, just bap. Oh, it was so great.
He's a cold-blooded scorer, that's for sure, man.
But yeah, what about
Wiggins tomorrow?
I'm not going to play him because I'm not looking. He's too expensive for my price tag, but I might make a line just to have Wiggins in it just because I really want to watch that game tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I'm going to fade Wiggins as well. I'm still on Towns, but not so much on Wiggins.
Dude, Towns is an amazing play tomorrow against Golden State, especially because Towns can play small ball. You know what I mean? He's not going to get run off the court.
Yeah. The only thing that cautions me with Towns, I mean, we're not there yet, but he doesn't seem like this gritty, like, grinder. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that this is like a prime matchup, national TV, Golden State coming to town. I mean, obviously he's going to get up for the game, but, I mean, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. bro, I can make the argument. I agree with Dave here. You can do a mini three-man stack, dude. Rubio, Wiggins, and Towns tomorrow. They all correlate, so.
I I love the Rubio Towns thing, man. I do it very often. It's won me a lot of money this year.
Yeah, so. Theo's cheering on OT right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna check my lines right now too.
Nurkic is the reason I'm even competing.
Yeah, I have 2 lines that are definitely gonna cash. Word.
Paul George against Milwaukee, man. Do you go back there? Actually, I skipped over. I'm sorry, I skipped over Jimmy Butler.
I'm
Great
off
play.
Butler.
Wow, why?
I don't know. I just feel like Wade's coming back, and Butler's.
Do you like Wade tomorrow then against?
No, I don't necessarily like either. I know that we try to attack Houston, but who knows what they're doing with their lineups, man. Obviously, Wade and Butler are the guys that are safe, but the rest of these guys have just been thrown in and out of the dumpster and taken off the bench. God, it's just been a rough season for the Bulls, and I don't know. I think Butler might tail a bit. If you look at his game logs, the only real games he's gotten there were without Wade, so I'm gonna go off of him. I'm somewhat intrigued with
Paul George.
With Paul George.
Yeah.
What's your take?
But I like Paul George tomorrow. Although I do think if they put Giannis on him? Actually, you know what? No, I think they'll. I don't know, Giannis or Middleton. But since Middleton's come back, man, you look at that DVP. Look at this, 32.8. That's no surprise because Middleton can defend. So.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, Paul George, I think you can make the case when he wants to be, he can be the best player in the.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's put together 5 solid games in a row with a high of 58 and a low of 34. And it is seemingly a good matchup, like you just said. I mean, but then you got to look at what DeRozan did, and look at what Melo just did. So, could be a little bit of a trap.
That's what I'm saying.
Middleton's probably got a lot to do with that.
On the reverse, though, Indiana gives it up to the 3-point shooters. We saw Otto Porter kill him. Chris Middleton, with his added peripherals, man. At 6,800, that's going to be a tougher roster. He's obviously not that bargain price anymore, but you could almost make the argument that he's warranting that price.
It's just he plays for the Bucks, so what's his role? Minutes rotation. He only had 28 minutes last game, and if he was going to play, I don't understand why. He's the second best player on this team. He should be getting 30 minutes if they are giving him 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Especially against New York in a close game, I didn't really get that. So that's somewhat cautionary, but he does have 5 straight 30-point DraftKings games, so
that's what I'm
consistent.
saying.
The peripherals allow for it, but it's still, I would like it in cash if you didn't play for the Bucks,
Yeah, it's just hard. I mean, any Bucks player is hard to roster on cash. Do you look at Terrence Ross? He's still at 4,500, and I guess it's just because he's inconsistent, but the upside is there for 4,500, man.
Yeah, 4,500, I'd get behind it. I'm off it on DraftKings. I think I'd rather play MKG at 49.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But I don't know, man. Terrence Ross, every time he's going to be at that 4,500 or around their price tag, it's an intriguing GPP play. Just because if he gets going, he can get you a 8 times, 9 times value.
Yeah, I just don't like his matchup against MKG today.
I'm not saying it's a good matchup.
He's a good. Yeah, I don't know if he's a good defender, but MKG can get out to the wing. He also can get down low. He's a GPP flyer on FanDuel. I think he's off the pool, out of the pool on DraftKings.
Yeah. Where are we at? You could look at MKG tomorrow too, as well, though. Actually.
Especially
on DraftKings.
With Frank out.
By the way, do you see that Frank is? They're saying he can be back by the end of the week.
I did see that. Yeah, I guess whatever I read, him out being the season was completely.
Well, that was
untrue.
It was a real report. It wasn't like you were reporting false news, but those weren't alternative facts.
Interesting. Well, he might be coming back. Either way, he's not back tomorrow. And we saw Frank or Zeller play 42 minutes last game, so they are thin in the front court. So I think I would expect minutes, especially with Johnny O'Brien spraining his ankle. They really don't have nobody except for Frank and Christian Wood at the center position. There's no Miles Plumlee. So I think Zeller, MKG, Marv are all in line for big minutes tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why Lamb has been getting 20 minutes a game too. Because when MKG slides to the 4, they got to put someone in there at the 3.
I agree with you. Kent Bazemore against Toronto. Bro, I think you got to look at if DeMar Carroll doesn't play tomorrow, and you're going to hate me for this pick, and everyone is going to, I'm going to hear it right now. If DeMar Carroll doesn't play, PJ Tucker's got to get a look, man. Atlanta has
Did you
been.
see what he did
What?
last game?
PJ Tucker?
Yeah.
What'd he do that I'm missing?
He played 30. Let me see. Let me get the numbers right here. He played 38 minutes.
DeMar Carroll didn't play, right?
Yep. PJ Tucker played. PJ Tucker played 38 minutes.
And that's because
Guess what he
DeMar.
did? 8 points.
Bro, I'm telling you though. Look, Andre Iguodala put up 44 points on Atlanta. Look at their DVP. Atlanta's just been giving it up to small forwards. I'm not saying he's a good play. I'm not saying he's a.
Give me Norm Powell then. Small forwards.
Yeah.
Take him.
Okay. On Toronto. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get behind you on that.
Yeah, I was on Norm Powell yesterday or last game when I saw that Carroll was going to be out, and he played less minutes than he did the game before with Carroll playing. So I'm gonna stick with that call just because, again, like you said, the DVP
Well,
the last 10 is their number one. But
it makes sense. Why would you not give the minutes to PJ Tucker? Clearly an offensive powerhouse.
yes, seriously. Hey, at least they played Valanciunas in the fourth quarter last game.
Dude, he balled out too.
He played some minutes.
So
oh man,
I think you could. Dude, Cephalosha has been playing really, really well lately.
he does have a couple good games in a row.
Still cheap.
Man.
Still cheap.
It's tough.
It is tough, but
it's definitely in the pool. Him and Powell are the same price.
I like the upside on Powell a little more.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then Otto Porter against Sacramento, man. You talk about the Kings giving up the threes.
Yep, and DVP backs it up, but I'm still not going to play it.
I know you hate Otto, but it's okay.
I don't hate him. I mean, yeah, I guess I kind of do. He played for Georgetown.
You can admit it, Mike. You don't like Otto Porter.
I do hate him. Yes.
You have your biases.
I do have my biases, and that's definitely one. He played for Georgetown. He's the last option on the starting five. His usage is less than 16 on the year. He either hits value or it duds big time. He rarely goes off. So
Otto's a GPP play
I'll
tomorrow.
continue if you want me to.
He's a GPP play tomorrow.
When's the last time he hit 6x, man?
Oh my God, here we go. I like Otto, and even Bogdanovich is in a good spot because of how much the Kings give up the three.
All right.
But Bonnell, he says, I hate Otto too. When I pick him, he shits on my lineup. When I don't pick him, he goes the fuck off.
I can make the case Otto does. He's done it a couple times, let's put it that way.
Dude, Otto had like 60-something, 70 points one time. And I had him on my roster when that happened, mind you.
Yeah. I hope you won all the money that you needed for that whole year.
I wouldn't say that much, but
to help you roster Otto Porter every day.
I hate you so much. Dirk against Brooklyn, obviously. I mean, the matchup's there. Dirk is Dirk, coming off obviously hitting that 30,000 points.
Yeah, I just don't know that they need his size. Really, I don't know that they need him at all to play his full allotment of minutes. That's the only reason I'm off Dirk. I think his price rose too. So
it did. Trevor Booker though, without Brook Lopez.
Yeah, I think Trevor Booker's in line for a good game. So without Brook Lopez,
Justin Hamilton
gets the start. However, Justin Hamilton has been a DNP city the last 3 games, a healthy scratch, might I add. And Quincy Acey has averaged over almost 20 minutes. Now, Quincy Acey doesn't project to be a center. And perhaps they bring Hamilton off the bench to start after not playing for 3 games. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen, but you have to assume that Quincy Acey's taken Hamilton's role on this road trip.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has over the last 3 games. He has. So I think him, Booker, and Hamilton are all in consideration. Quincy Acey and Hamilton are both minimum salary. I tend to lean Acey unless we get the news that Hamilton's going to start. But either way, I like Booker. Booker on this road trip, he's hit 5 times value in 6 out of his last 7 games, and there've been some tough matchups. So
But I'm telling you,
4,700.
we just
Jeremy.
saw. I'm not gonna say they're the same talent level because they're not. And Mike will actually argue the opposite. But we just saw what Julius Randle did to Dallas. I'm telling you, man, Dallas. Dirk is not a defender, right? And
Yeah.
there's something to be said. I'm telling you, Trevor Booker's in line for a nice game tomorrow.
No, I like Trevor Booker tomorrow as well.
Who's a better player, Mike? Trevor Booker or Julius Randle?
God, man.
I
I think
want to.
Julius Randle will be the better player.
I had to force you into that one.
Yeah, that was terrible to say.
Jokic against Denver. Obviously, we don't think he'll play. If he does, good matchup.
Yeah, I think I'd rather play Towns for $300 more.
I agree, but just throwing that out there. Amir Johnson against Denver.
I guess him and Olynyk have to be in the conversation for value. They both exceeded value against Golden State. I think this is a good matchup. It's just I don't know where to go. They're both the same price on DraftKings. I think you could make the case for both.
I like Amir a lot on the late slate, especially because I know obviously you don't have a lot of options there. But I like Amir on the late slate. I like Trevor Booker on that late slate. And I like Willie Cauley-Stein a little bit on that late slate.
For what it's worth, I spent way too much time this evening looking into choosing between Amir Johnson and Kelly Olynyk. So I might as well share. But Amir Johnson, if you look at this road trip, he is actually somewhat getting steady 20 minutes a game. Whereas Kelly Olynyk, had almost 27 minutes last game, but hasn't really been getting that consistently. So, still a toss-up. Unfortunately. There's some good value tomorrow, though, guys. I like tomorrow's slate a lot. I'm going to be investing some money in it. Hopefully work isn't too bad. So, look for some insight.
Mike's a big baller now.
Been waiting for this 8-game slate with value.
What the? Jokic has 77 FanDuel points.
I mean, Nurkic.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Portland's beat writers are like tweeting at Denver's beat writers right now. How you like me now?
This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Do you look at Wancho tomorrow?
81 points on DraftKings, by the way. I'm just going to point that out.
Yeah. Do you look at Wancho tomorrow?
He's still cheap enough to look at. Man, I wish I would have played this in some more lineups. Anyway, getting back. Yeah, so he's cheap enough to look at 39. If he starts, yeah, you could look at him, but I don't think you're going to get that news, so probably not. If you're playing late slate, then yeah, you kind of look at him, but otherwise.
Draymond against Minnesota?
No, I'm not going to go Draymond today. I think Gorgie Jang, though.
Could be in play.
Could be in play, yeah. So he's back in the rotation. They said Bielitsa's underperforming ass on the bench finally, and they decided to go some Gorgie Jang. 37 minutes and 37 DraftKings points against San Antonio. Granted, that was an overtime game, but he had 39 and 33 against the Clippers last game, and he's averaging 37 minutes and 29 DraftKings points against Golden State in the 2 games this season. So, in line for 30 at 52. I don't necessarily hate that play on either formats.
I'm not gonna look at that Indiana-Milwaukee game. I'm not gonna roster Terrence Jones. I mean, he hasn't played at all in the last 2 games, has he?
No, he hasn't at all. They've actually and Mirza Teletovic was hurt last game, and he still didn't play.
So this I can't understand. He's 5,500 on FanDuel. What has he done to deserve that price? The fact that he hasn't played the last... This is more reasonable on DraftKings, right? If you're going to take a punt, 3,600 is doable. But what the hell, 5,500 on FanDuel?
It's strange, too, because when he was going off, DraftKings had him in, like, the 7,500 range, and FanDuel, like, wouldn't pay... I think his price has been 5,500 the whole season. Like, even when he was going off, FanDuel wouldn't raise his price. Whereas DraftKings has had it, like, up and down all year, and that's pretty much exactly who Terrence Ross is.
Yeah.
He's even more of a GPP play with Jason Kidd as coach.
What about Aaron Gordon again tomorrow? 5,600 against Charlotte.
Yeah, I think if Vooch is out,
Yeah.
all of these starters
Are
are
in
in
play.
line for a good matchup.
Bro, Marvin Williams too.
Yeah, like I said, I think there's a lot to look at this Orlando Charlotte game, but the over/under and the numbers that I've run really don't say stack here. So I think your benefit is to choose one on either side that you think is going to be the guy. As far as tournaments, but in GPP or in cash, I think you play the consistent performers.
It's fair.
Thad Young at 42 is intriguing. I don't think I'd go there, but that's cheap, man.
Against Milwaukee, yeah. He's 49 on FanDuel, but yeah, DraftKings is definitely more doable.
He's just not been getting the minutes and not been doing anything since he got back from that injury.
Ilyasova, man, he hit value last time. He's been hitting value. You mentioned it. He's on that 6-man roll. I think he's...
Yeah, like I said, I went back and watched to see what his role would be, and it pretty much is he's the backup center, and he does get a little bit of run with Dwight as well, but primarily he's the backup center. I think it's a good spot for him, and I think it's almost like a safer punt, especially on DraftKings.
Yeah, that 4,000 price, 4,400 is
I don't necessarily
nice.
think he's a bet for 30, but I think he can get you 20 to 25 points.
What about Markeith at 6K tomorrow? Prices dropped significantly.
And I expect it will continue to drop.
Someone just asked how many minutes for Ilyasova tomorrow. I believe he's been getting in the 25 to 28 range, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, correct?
No, I don't think he's gotten to 28, but
Let me see.
I think you can expect anywhere from 18 to 24 is what I would project.
No, so over is 26, 23, 21, 27, 26. So I would safely say between 20 and 26.
Okay. There you go. That makes sense.
I thought I saw his minutes kind of increase. So Keith, what about Cauley Stein tomorrow?
It's an interesting play. I don't really have any takes on Cauley Stein. What are you thinking?
I think he's in play. I think he's in play. He's not my favorite play on the slate. I definitely think he will be chalky on the late slate. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. I think he gets all 15 minutes of Mahinmi.
Yeah.
Somewhat takes me off of him a little bit, but still can show you. He's shown the upside, you know.
I agree. Obviously, no Brook Lopez. What about Nerlens Noel tomorrow? Do you think he gets his run? Because if he does, he's in play.
Yeah, he's a tournament play. I thought, I think you can look at this Lakers game and the minutes allotment, and I think that box score, for example, is something that you can look at, or the condensed game for that Lakers game, something you can look at for this Dallas side going up against Brooklyn. Is that a fair assessment?
That is fair.
Okay, so if you look at that, I mean, Nerlens Noel, he didn't have an awesome game, but he did see a bit of an uptick from the game before in minutes. I think you can see it's about the same today. Can go off though, so he's a tournament play.
So, don't look now, Mike. Al Horford. It's 5,600 tomorrow. Al Horford hit value last game. I've been right on Al Horford the last 3 games that he's hit value. I was right on Drummond today. I was right on Nurkic today. Kyle.
I'm going to the other side of that matchup. If Jokic isn't out, I'm going to play Plumlee at 59.
I like Plumlee too. Oh shit, Al Horford's 6,000. Never mind. Plumlee's 56. Damn it. Still, Al Horford's been hitting value. Plumlee I like as well though. Just telling you, man. Kyle's back on his center game. I've gotten 3 straight centers right in a row. Don't sleep on Kyle when it comes to centers. You mentioned Karl Anthony Towns. Same price on both sides. Definitely in play. Not where I'm going to spend up personally, but I know Mike likes him.
Yeah, I just want to go into Towns, if you will let me.
Go to town, Mike.
Nice. I like that. So I looked over the last 2 months, because I know that he's been, balling recently, I just didn't know how far back he's been really balling, So I just looked over the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna tell you his percentages, right? 60.2% from the field, 40.9 from 3, 83.6 from the line. before that, so before the last 2 months, so I started January 9th since it's March 9th, 44%, which is a 16% increase in his field goal percentage. 34% from three, which is a 6-point increase in 3-point percentage. And almost a 10-point increase in free throw percentage. So this is what we expected from Towns, I think, coming into the season. Him to find his stroke, find comfortable, and I think he's just going to continue to be this top-notch guy to carry out the rest of the season, in my opinion. He's played well against Golden State in the last game. He had a big double-double, so I think he's definitely in play.
By the way, for those of you that watch the baseball video, Josh Sands is currently taking down the late night GPP. So there you go, Josh.
Oh,
get it. He's not only
he needed that win.
He needed it bad, man. Give him some money to play with baseball.
There you go. Good job, Josh.
Clint Capella is really low price tomorrow, Mike, against Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
5,300.
Yeah, similar to point guards. This right around 5K at center. There's a bunch of guys that I'm looking at, and it's going to be a tough choice. So, Capella is one of those.
I like Capella. Tomorrow. I like Robin Lopez too at 4,800. I think he's in play.
I don't know, man. Chicago scares me right now. What they did.
What'd they do?
Last game.
What'd they do?
So last game they decided that Mirotic not going to see the floor. Joffrey Laverne who's played, I think he's played like a few minutes here and there every game. 28 minutes. And then Valentine played over 20 minutes as well, and they'd be giving Zipser the start. So I think no one is safe in Chicago. That's what I'm grasping.
All right, what about this one, Mike? What about this one? I know you're looking here because I am. Miles Turner, 5,400 on DraftKings, going up against Milwaukee.
He's in that pool, but again, I think he falls out of play when you. So on DraftKings, 55 for Biyombo, 52 for Capella, 52 for Zeller, 48 for JV. They're all kind of in the same boat, floor ceiling wise, and it's a tough call.
I won't play him on FanDuel, and I don't really play that much DraftKings, but I would if I was on DraftKings. That 5,400 price tag is beautiful. Where are we at?
Speaking of Joffrey Laverne, I mean, if he's going to get 27 minutes, the minimum salary, he's got to be in play.
It's just a matter of if he gets those minutes.
It's worth a punt, in my opinion, at 3K.
Biyombo, though, 4,900 on FanDuel. I think I might play that. If no Vooch.
Nice.
If no Vooch.
I think Zeller is nice if he's going to play 40 minutes.
Yes.
And again, JV against Atlanta, I don't hate that at 48. I think the reason he got extra run is because he was going up against Boogie. They needed him, right? I think you make the same case with Dwight. Maybe he plays fourth quarter again tonight.
Who, Dwight?
No, I'm talking about JV.
Oh, yeah.
The reason they played him fourth quarter is because they needed him with Boogie. And
especially 4,800, man, on DraftKings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's definitely in play with all those guys. So it's going to be a tough choice. I also think Dwight Howard's in play in his career against Valanciunas. 6 games, 42.5 DraftKings points. 2 games this season, he's been 40+. 7 straight over 30. I think he's been worthy of that price tag at 68 or 69 today.
Yeah. And then I think you got to look at Gortat tomorrow, man. 5,200 is. I actually like that play better than Turner against Sacramento.
Yeah, another guy. Again, another guy. There's a lot of guys in the spot, and I don't think Gortat's the highest on my list just because his minutes have been up and down. Obviously, he had that double-double against Denver, but that was a very high-scoring game. I think the point total of that game was close to 250. So I don't necessarily think that's going to happen tonight in Sacramento.
So who's your favorite out of that price range?
I don't know. I haven't really chosen, man. Man, it's gonna be a
I think
tough call,
Capella.
but I'm gonna go Valanciunas at 48.
I pick Capella.
I like Capella too. I think that's probably the next go. I think I go Capella, then Biyombo, then Zeller, then Gortat.
Okay, so who is your lock tomorrow? Give
My
me
lock.
your lock. Your one play that you're putting in everywhere.
I don't know. It's tough because I haven't done any lineup building. I like to choose my overall lock based on how my lineups shake out. I can tell you who I'd like it to be.
Who's that?
I think I would like to lock in Harden.
Ooh. Okay.
But again, it's all going to come down to lineup construction.
So here's where I'm at. This is contingent on, like you said, Gallo being out, and if Jokic is out, even more so. Necktat West. Lock.
Yeah, Chandler's definitely up there for me, for sure. That's the guy I'm playing. I'm definitely playing him. Both those guys are ruled out, but I guarantee it's going to be a game time decision. I'm definitely going to have some exposure to him, but I don't think I'm going to lock him in not knowing if Jokic and Chandler and Gallo are going to play. And I guarantee that's what's going to happen tomorrow.
After that, Isaiah Thomas. No question. Give me Isaiah Thomas tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not as high on Isaiah as you are.
It's okay. I have a little bit of
like
bias
him.
on that.
He's on my pool. He's definitely in the pool. He's definitely the point guard I want to pay up to, but I don't think I'm paying up at point guard tomorrow.
I had to make you. I had to. I have a little bit of bias.
I like Giannis over Thomas if I'm paying up at point guard.
Get out of here.
Call.
God damn it, Mike.
Say what now?
The price difference is like $2,000.
Well, on DraftKings it's only $1,400. So if I'm paying up there, I would start with Giannis and see if I can't build a lineup, and if I can't, I might fall back to Thomas. That's what I'm trying to say.
Fair enough. All right. Some things to look forward to. So I want to show you guys. Can you still see my screen? Still shows my screen, right?
Yeah. We like you.
What we're looking at here. We got a Phenom right there in first place. Little mini dribbler, nothing crazy, but congrats. That's Jeff right there. So this is just kind of how Slack is, man. So this is what you guys are looking at. Look right here. Look at this. Oh, never mind. I thought that said 760. Still.
Well, just Kyle, just to preface what we're looking, people have no idea what they're looking at. So this is the interface for Slack. So
yeah.
If you've never used Slack before, this is what it is. You can see on the left-hand side, that is all of the channels for Slack. So
MLB, MMA, NASCAR, NBA,
right. So
NHL, PGA.
Click in there. You can join whatever ones apply to you, and it's basically a running chat room, 24/7. We have Twitter feeds that are embedded in each channel, so that the beat writers, when they tweet something out, if you're following that channel, you'll get that notification as well, and you're able to, direct message us or anybody really in the group.
Hold on,
and post things, and discuss the slate amongst yourselves.
Let me zoom in a little bit so we can kind of see. Just so you guys that are on your phone can see. So here's Josh. We mentioned Josh. He's obviously late night slate. It's split among a couple people. He only showed the beginning of it.
Okay.
So it's that. Let's clear that out. So you can see right here we have 317 members in it right now.
And that's just the NBA channel.
This is Daniel Gibson, man. He is taking down a GPP, two of them. He still has D'Angelo, Warren. Obviously Nurkic is over now, and Dame is over. But dude, he has a great chance of taking this down. So congrats there. High score of 357. So I mean, you guys can see we're all about positivity in here, man. Everyone's on it.
Each other.
Yeah, so it's awesome, man.
Warren is going off.
Yeah. So just kind of as I mentioned, this is what Slack is. This is kind of what you see. So we have all our, we have a research links channel as well. So everyone posts in here things that they're looking at for research. Obviously, we have our Excel files, so I post all of the Excel files in here. This is where you also get all the projection or the projections versus actual, things like that. So it's a really, really user-friendly interface. Everything is organized. And like I said, you guys get 7 days free to try it out. Let us know how it is. Telling you, there's a ton of interaction in here, and any time you guys need help, a lot of help going on in here as well. So appreciate you.
This thing is lit up all day, all night.
It doesn't stop, man. You have to limit the amount of notifications you get.
Yeah, if you want to be part of something that is people talking about fantasy sports literally all day, that's what this is. And it's not like you have to be in it. You just kind of come in and chat. I mean,
do your thing, yeah. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate the support as always. Again, if you're interested in the subscription, again, you get the projections, the Slack group, everything like that. Website is coming, I promise. So Mike actually is working with a guy right now on the website. I want to apologize because I know that was a huge topic. The website was a little delayed from where we were. Unfortunately, it's not an easy website build, right? It's not your standard. You can't do this on Wix. You can't do this on Dreamweaver. It's not a template build website. It's something that's incredibly interactive because we're going to try and get optimizers in there, right? So you look at some of the websites that are out there right now for other DFS sites, and a lot of them are built on templates. And while I know obviously having a template or just a website in general would be nice, we don't want to put out a half product. Not saying that those websites work for them, no shade being thrown, but what we want to do with our website is a lot more intricate, and so that's going to take not only time, but finding the right person to build it, because not everyone has those skills. So just rest assured that is in the works. Mike is currently working with that developer, and we're going to get it out to you guys as soon as we can, but we don't want to rush the product.
If I can, so just to go on what you just said, so full disclosure, I mean, most sites on the internet you can call template sites. The thing is, though, it's just being able to maintain it, being able to use it on the back end, being able to have full functionality at our disposal is something you have to work toward, and that's what I've been working on, is coming up with full framework design for the site to bring to a developer, and that's what we're working on now. We've found someone that is going to take it to the next level, and it's going to come. It's all going to be coming soon. So
yeah, so just stay tuned, guys. Stay with it. I promise you, it's coming. A lot of good things to look forward to once that is up as well. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. We will talk to you guys in Slack for those of you that are there. If you have any questions, email me, send me a message on Facebook, anywhere. I'm available. So have a wonderful night, guys. We'll talk to you soon.